Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a tarot reader, 27 years experience. If this is your first time, I'm so happy you're here. Please click like and subscribe, and if you click on the little bell, you'll be notified when new videos are put out there. So the question I'm asking the Arcanum Tarot is, what happens immediately after we die? All right, card number 1. What happens as soon as we are officially declared deceased? Okay, this is so interesting. So we've got the Emperor card, all right, and this means that we go into the spirit realm, which is indicated by the bird here. So we go into the spirit world and we're strong again. So that means that if we would have a health condition or whatever, that's very strong. The Emperor is a very strong card there, and it just indicates strength. Now, for some of us, the dying process is very fearful, so we can have a lot of fear as the process is ending, but all the light's coming, and some people are confused as to where this light is. It's bright. Do I go to the light? And they kind of hang on, maybe for loved ones that are there. They're trying to hang on and cling. And oh gosh, this is so interesting because I'm shuffling these cards. I am not picking these cards out by looking at them. I'm doing like I would with a tarot reading, and I'm just reading them. So this means that there is finally a realization. There's finally a realization that, okay, I'm past, right? I'm past. And this can be like a very, unique experience. I don't want to say lonely, but I'm going to call it a very unique experience, all right? You're like, whoa, okay, I'm on the other side. And so then what happens immediately after that is there's that realization. And then immediately we realize that we're in another place. Okay, so this is another place. It's very beautiful there. And from what I've done from readings from people on the other side, it does look a lot like Earth, except more beautiful. There's more colors. And see, her basket's empty. She's showing up and she's going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? And this can also be other spirit beings there to guide you. The pentacles can mean that you have a different type of a life. Oh, wow. This can be your guides coming. This can be family members, guides. This is the Knight of Wands, and the Wands are spirit. So the terrain might look a little different. The colors might look a little different. And all of a sudden, here comes the guide toward the person, right? The guide is coming toward the person. This could be loved ones too. And because of all the pink, it feels very good, feels very happy. You could be reunited with any children that passed before you, including like miscarriages or any type of babies that passed away or just got absorbed back in. They grew up in the spirit world. This is the swords. They grew up in the spirit world, and you'll be like, wow, I'm having a reuniting, and you'll be shocked that they're like grown up, like they're all grown up. You're like, whoa, what is this about? And then we've got the King of Wands. So this is so interesting because this is all the spirit world. So it's all beautiful here. And these are like master beings who will come in. Like this is spirit guides and master beings who will come. And notice that they both have wands to guide you. They've got lighted guides. So you're not gonna be lost and lonely there. You're going to be guided. You're going to have a very good guidance system. And because that's going home, right? You're going home. For those of you who might have loved ones over there, you're going to meet up with, like, if your spouse is over there or somebody you really love. Now, you're going to have different bodies. You notice how it's just the head and things like that, and then there's cups down here. So you might have slightly different bodies, but you'll recognize each other. So if one of your people that you love died many years ago, you grew old and then died, there's a recognition, like a very happy recognition. It's like a reunion, like, oh my gosh, you're here, and I'm so happy about it. And the Seven of Wands talks about there's different, this is like a matrix, I want to call it. So there's different levels, there's different areas, there's different matrix. And see the closed door behind them? You don't have access to everywhere over there. So you can go to a lot of places, but there are some places where they'll guide you here and you'll say, no, this is where you can go. So you can't go like everywhere. In my house, there are many mansions. And then you might see the suffering of the people down on earth, because you're up in the clouds, and you might see the people who are really suffering because you passed away. You'll be aware of that. There's a sense of the loss of you down on earth, and that some people will be absolutely devastated that you passed. Now, when you first get over there, you might have some decisions to make. This is the Two of Pentacles. I've got to get my balance. I've got to get myself acclimated to this new type of environment, right? So there can be a little sense of being, whoa, where am I now? I've got to get my spirit shoes on, right? And then, of course, this is interesting because this is the card like the River Styx, being guided. So, of course, you're being guided. You don't have to worry about trying to find your way or getting lost. You're going to be guided. So that's a very interesting card there. And pretty soon you are the queen. You're the master of over there. You're like, okay, I've got this. This is the queen. She's mature. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, I figured this out. And so that, is the good news on there. And the Ten of Wands just means that there's a lot of decisions to be made over there. Like you're not just floating around in space. There's things to do over there. Like there's places to go and things to do and you might try to do like everything. Like you might try to think that, well, I'm just going to do like all these things. I'm just going to gather them all up. And this also means that if you had conflicts with people on Earth, and the people are over there, you won't have those conflicts over there. In other words, there's a walking away, there's a disconnection from the conflict. So you're not gonna like meet anybody over there who would cause you harm, things like that. So that card just means that there's a field over there that just completely prevents you from being harmed on the spirit side. And here you are, Earth is up here and you're in another realm. So at first you may not be able to know what's going on on the planet. So that's a card about, okay, I'm in another location and I want to know what's going on with Earth, but I've got to develop a skill set. So you'll be taught by the High Priestess, you'll be taught how to communicate. And boy, I found this to be true. When I'm talking to some people, I can't talk to them. I have to get an interpreter to interpret because they haven't figured out how to communicate. So that if you ever wonder if a loved one cannot communicate with you, it might be that you have to ask for an interpreter. The Strength card just means that you're strong over there. If you had any issues over here, you retain your full strength over there. And you become, a much stronger person. So the interesting thing about being over there is all the people. Look at all the people cards that are coming. I mean, there's just people everywhere. So you're going to meet a lot of different beings. Some of them may have lived on the planet. Some of them have lived on the planet a long time ago. I mean, think how interesting it's going to be to talk to the people from all different realms. I mean, how fascinating is that going to be? You're going to meet people from all different eras who lived at all different times on the planet, and you're going to gain a lot of wisdom over there. There's wisdom to be gained over there. So this is very, very interesting, this reading. And then I can ask, is it easy to communicate with the people on Earth when you're over there? Is it easy to communicate? Oh, and we get the Knight of Swords, which is the communication messages. For some, it's very easy. For some, they have to work at it. But for some, it's very easy. That's what that card said. It's very easy to communicate. And so look at this. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So over there, it's all people doing things. There's messages. You can communicate with the people down here. And look at these lilies. You have all these desires and dreams and hopes and things that you can do over there. And people to be with. I mean, it's really, really an exciting place because that's the long-term place. We're only over here, 80, 90 years, maybe 100 if you're lucky. Over there, you can be over there for eternity. And so it's very beautiful and the colors are very stunning. It's a very nice place, and there's a lot of things to do over there. It's a whole nother world. It's just like stepping in from one world into another one. Absolutely magnificent.